when I heard it, after he did everything to it, I was like, whoo, that's when I put the ad-libs. You know, you're my favorite white boy. This is when you start to get that energy that makes everybody want to make the best possible song. Like, I took the bootleggers and turned them into my personal distributors. Tricked the bootleggers into thinking my CD was a major label release because the last they saw me, I was on Columbia. And then let it hit the street.
This is a man who, on that bed of the hospital, people were releasing him from contracts. His record label, he just received publishing deal and the check, and they gave it right back to him, like, here, keep the money. We don't even want to be in business.
My manager gave me a copy of Guess Who's Back, and within the first couple of songs, I was like, yo, he's back.
I was getting music from Theo Settlemyer, who's 50's attorney, who also happened to be M's attorney at the time. I was funneling it to Marshall, but at the time, Marshall was working on filming 8 Mile. He was also finishing up the Eminem show, so he was very focused on what he had in front of him creatively. At some point, we got the Guess Who's Back record, and I think it was before 50 even officially released it. And that's when I was like, all right, listen, you gotta fucking listen to this thing.
At that point in time, I think we had found out that he wasn't signed yet, so, we have a chance to maybe do something with him. Let's try to see what's up.
It was just amazing to me that, like, so many people were scared, and Em and Dre just stepped to the plate.
I believed in us, as a group and as solo artists, that we was gonna have an impact. But when that happened, it was like an overnight thing.
So I think the first time I met 50 was at a release party. Was it in New York? I think it was in New York.
In Los Angeles for the release of the record. And we had so much going on that we were like, let's bring 50 out to LA to sort of, get to know each other a little bit.
We met him. I think we talked in the back room, right?
Just really connected on a human level, but also...
I'm not sure I liked how that sounded, but I'm just throwing it out there.
Maybe you shouldn't be in here?
Maybe I should.
I think for him, aligning with Dr. Dre and Eminem was that moment of like, okay, now I can go off.
When we first talked to Dre about signing 50, he was like, you guys ready for that? We're like, yeah, we think his music's great, but we want your help.
But M was like, I'll take it upon my responsibility, and then he'll be under me. He'll be under Shady. You don't have to be on the aftermath. I'll take full responsibility to whatever happens after this day.
A week after Eminem drops the Eminem show and completely cements himself as the #1 rapper in the world, they make the announcement that he's signing 50 Cent.
And then, they said the deal is done, congratulations. I just heard the $1 million, 50 Cent the deal, popped the champagne, Em said congratulations. Then I just knew it was on from there, because it's like, come on, Eminem, man.
And you saw this organic groundswell around him that really had never been seen before in hip hop. He like, people talk about now in the internet age, like, oh, so-and-so has buzz and whatever. None of that comes even close to what 50 had behind him at that moment.
I had a lot of music out, like, on the street. So much stuff that M didn't hear.
Like, I think they recorded like 30 songs when he was with Dre. Like, he would go to LA and just keep recording, then go to Detroit, keep recording.
But every song he was doing was so crazy there was nothing to get rid of. There was nothing that we could even say, oh, that would be cool for a mixtape.
At the end, that's why the album was so long. Like, my album had 19 cuts on it. Technically, it's the maximum playing time you can have for a single disc. And it's technically a double CD, curated.
I don't know if we really set out to create anything. It was more, let's just make the best music that we can make.
You told me you're making a record right now with the biggest artist in the world. Like, I can say that shit and it makes sense.
Patiently Waiting was one of the first beats I sent Fifth, actually.
I had CDs of Dre beats, CDs of, I'm like, I'm the man right now, right? So now we went through it and 50 combed through it. Now, they're skeletons. So some of those melodies you hear now, they weren't in it. So 50 was able to pull from the real bare bone skeletons and create melodies that they were able to later produce on top of and make it that.
Patiently Waiting, I think, just had the cello, the strings on it, and the drums.
Builds a sort of tension, and I think that was probably something that 50, gravitated towards.
It was like a
like sounds almost, and it was like dun, 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 dun. I had enough for me to know what tempo and the feel of it, and I just.
Fifty, I think he basically only talks to him. 50 doesn't have that many friends in the industry that he could like trust like 100%.
If it wasn't in Detroit and 8 Mile, if you grew up in South happened. The problem is once you start to remove all of those boundaries of what you can write about and what you can't write about, every track that comes on, you can rap to anything. So really, what is your style? Now you really don't have a style anymore because you can do anything.
That's one of the fun things for me to do as a producer is to hear somebody's rhyme and what they've done and then kind of build around that as opposed to building the beat first. I was really into trying to make it cinematic and trying to make it seem like, you know, make it like a movie.
That combined with what they were talking about on the record and how they were able to sort of weave themselves together through this song was pretty magical.
Is when he said, I'm gonna put it.
And I hadn't planned on being on the song yet. You know, I just wanted to hear him do something to it. And then when I heard what he did to it, I was like, oh, maybe I could be on this one, and you know, and then went and pieced it together later.
You just heard the aggression in there. You just heard the rawness. And then when M came in, it was just like, I've been patiently waiting to make it through all that.
It's me right back to that moment in the studio, a sound that you wouldn't call a musical instrument, but is acting like that. You know, it's acting like, you know, a percussion section. You know, and the heartbeat, you know, is basically could be timpani.
He perfectly sums up everything about why 50 Cent is about to be the biggest thing in hip hop. And he does it like systematically, and you know, he builds this argument, and it's like almost like a lawyer building his case, where it's like he gets to the sort of crescendo, and it's like you have no doubt, this guy is about to be the guy.
But I was also trying to let anyone who didn't know the story of what had went on with Fifth, like kind of trying to explain a little bit of that. And like, look, this is what he's been through and this is where he's at now. You know what I'm saying? And this is the next dude. This is the next.
All the pieces were in place, but to have the biggest rapper not only co-sign him, not only help him produce this thing, but write a verse that is arguably his best ever, where he breaks down exactly why 50's whole career is about to explode. It sort of legitimizes 50 and articulates everything that everyone was thinking about why this was such an incredible and exciting.
Was to try to make that song, make it sound official. Okay, 50 is officially with us.
That line is it's gumbo. It's really taking the things that you see missing from the culture and saying this is it. It's everything that's missing from the culture that we knew was great in the past, and putting it right there and saying this is what this is right here.
And it was trying to say, look, this moment, this is the moment that the rap game is going to change, and it's never going to be the same after this.
Like whenever I appear in an Eminem show, it's at request. It's at his request for which ones you want to do.
That first time is actually documented in Detroit. We all on stage, I lose my mind, I take my shirt off, I'm throwing it, and when it's the first time they performed it together. And at that moment, that's when you knew that this was it.
So many pictures at the same time, and it was so bright you had to just be careful of the ledge. Like you couldn't see into the crowd.
But I just couldn't believe that we never did a video, like a real video for that.
He liked it so much that he forced us to perform it all the time. I was like, yo, we could do the other joints.
I grew up without my pops. Shit that make me bitter. I cold cases I copped out. That make me a quitter. In this white man's world, I'm similar to a squirrel.
Not a lot of records come out and the artists have the whole record like that.
I don't think anyone really had the expectation that he would sell 10 million albums. Like, you knew that it would be huge, and that particularly after the M thing. But again, I think once Eminem drops 8 Mile, it's almost like all bets are off. Like, this crew is literally unstoppable.
You ain't hear Eminem rap with a lot of people. So here he goes rapping with his newcomer, this newcomer is that guy. His story is real, and it's the real deal. You know, you think Eminem, you thinking it's gonna be some funniness, it ain't. This is the realest out. And then you got the coolest, hottest white boy with the realest in rap on one record.
Everyone kind of has that feeling of like, man, if I could just get my shot, if I could just get that opportunity to prove myself, then I know I can do it. And to me, that's what that song kind of represented. And anytime you've got something like that to engage fans, you know, you're gonna win.
It goes with his life. Like, he's patiently waiting for something we don't know, only he would know. But I think he's just addicted to success.
I think like he always said there is no plan B. Like, I think if it wasn't for like hip hop and music, I think I would be dead or in jail or still in the hood hustling.
You know, I watched 50 get mad at my boy who said that rap was a hobby. And he was like, I just got fucking shot for my words. What you mean a hobby? So this is that I knew that was real to him.
For me, I can still put it in and it's still goosebumps.
Every now and then we have artists that come that have their moment, that's all. And the stars line up for them because it's just the right time.
Boy 50, I'm out here in Detroit, so you know I'm gonna turn all the way up. I got some surprises for you tonight.
motherfuckers. What's up? What's up? Hey, make some motherfucking noise.
Oh, Detroit. Don't fucking act like you didn't know I was gonna be here. Detroit, make some noise for one of the best friends I've ever known, 50 Cent. Yeah. And also, make some noise for hip-hop's 50th birthday, y'all. It's still hip-hop's 50th birthday. Detroit, I love y'all, man.
Eminem 50 Cent! Detroit, make some noise!